Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. I mean, technically it should be Under the Needle Quilting and Crochet, but at the time, I didn't know I was going to be crocheting so much when I changed the name of my channel. So, anywho, I want to talk to you guys today. This is a little bit different for me, about a crochet experience. I'm primarily a quilter, but I started crocheting before I started quilting. I'm self-taught. Everything is self-taught. Nobody's ever taught me anything. By the time I learned anything from anyone, I had already been doing this stuff for years, potentially decades, right? At least a decade. Before YouTube came out and I could watch stuff on YouTube. So I'm self-taught, and that's really not relevant. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. Anywho, I was mostly quilting, and, I used to quilt in a spare room upstairs in the main part of the house. And I had a kid that came back home, and I needed that bedroom. So I moved downstairs this is a finished garage area. So this is where I sew. And I don't hand sew anything. Everything is machine sewn. So anytime I'm quilting, I am downstairs by myself. It is very isolating, which normally I'm fine with. I'm a very solitary person, and I don't normally need to be around people. But as I navigate the hormones and mood changes of menopause, sometimes I find that I don't want to be so isolated. Not that I want to be out in the world, mind you, but I want to be around the people in my house. I kind of want to be like in my bedroom or in my living room where there are people walking by. Because when I'm down here, I don't see anyone unless I go up there. See, look, there's the stairs. And so if I go up there, but when I'm down here, and for the most part, I don't hear a lot either. It's very insulated down here, so I don't hear a lot of noises and stuff like that. And so I find that I've been crocheting more because at certain points of this menopause journey I'm going on, sometimes I don't want to be so isolated. And then also, sometimes I'm traveling. I'm in a car and I'm driving to Georgia, or I'm in Georgia and I'm sitting in somebody's house or somebody's living room, or, and I need something to do, something to keep my hands busy. And crochet gives me that, and quilting does not, because I'm not trying to hand sew. So don't even come out here and say, well, the English paper. No, I don't want an English paper piece. I don't want to hand sew. I don't. Nope. I'm dabbling in embroidery a little bit, and I might want to do something like that, but hand sewing I have no interest in, period. But I love my crochet. And recently Tony Lipsy over at TL Yarn Crafts came out with a new yarn called Apricity. It is a bulky 6 yarn. Do I have a yarn label? Yeah, I do. Hold on. Okay, so the line is called Happy Place. And the specific yarn that I'm talking about today is called Apricity. And like I said, this is a bulky 6 yarn, but even Tony says it works up more like a bulky 5. It is 65% alpaca and 7% wool blown into a 28% polyamide casing. Never used a yarn like this. But I am a fan of Tony's. This yarn uses a 10 millimeter hook, and the gauge is 12 stitches and 16 rows for knit, and 8 stitches and 10 rows for crochet. And the knitting hook size or needle size recommended is 9 millimeter. Now, Tony said that when she does this yarn, she uses a 9 millimeter hook when she crochets with this yarn, and that is what I ended up using. I tried the 10 millimeter first, and then decided I preferred the 9 millimeter, and so I went down a hook size. I frogged the entire project and started over. Now, I'm a fan of Tony's, but when she came out with her first yarn with Hobie, in collaboration with Hobie, it was Happy Place yarn, and it was Happy Place melange and solids, I think. And it was a DK weight yarn, and I had absolutely no interest in working with DK weight. And so I had to pass on that, right? Even though I wanted to support her, I had to pass on that yarn because it wasn't what I was looking to work with. So when she dropped this yarn, I was super happy to see it and couldn't wait to try it. It was on sale, and plus I got a quantity discount. And so I paid like $8.50 or something like that, or $8.30. Between $8 and it was less than $9, like $8.50 a skein is what I paid. I chose 8 colors and I had no idea what I was going to do with the yarn. No clue. And so the yarn came and I got to feel it and it was so soft and I couldn't wait to work with it. And I was looking for a project. Now, Tony released some projects when she released the yarn, but a lot of those projects were either things that I wasn't ready to make, or they required more yarn than I could budget to buy, right? Because I couldn't buy, 20 skeins of yarn. And so, like I said, I just chose the 8 colors that I liked and I purchased that. Then I had to find a pattern. And I looked and looked and looked and I, couldn't find anything. And I found this shawl pattern called Agatha's Reading Shawl. And it's by a lady, her channel name is Ophelia Talks. I don't know if her actual name is Ophelia or not. I'm assuming it is, but I don't know that for sure because I haven't watched a lot of the videos and I have a terrible memory. So I saw the shawl and so I watched the video. So in her video, I believe she used worsted weight yarn. And she made this huge shawl that went from the tips of her fingers. I think it extended like 4 or 5 inches beyond the tips of her fingers on each side when she held it out, right? I've never made a shawl before. Although I've crocheted, I've mostly done blankets and I've done a sweater and that's pretty much it. I've done scarves, but I'd never done a shawl before. So I did not know exactly how it was going to come together. So I started by putting the colors in the order that I wanted to work them in. And then I just started crocheting. And it was such a joy. It was such a joy to make this shawl. It was a crochet experience between the ease of the pattern, the beauty of the yarn, and plus I had this stunning Furls red crochet hook. This is a all metal construction crochet hook. And this is the one that I used. And between these 3 things, I did not want this project to be finished. I did not want it to be done. I wanted to just keep working on it because it was it's just an easy 2-row repeat, which I like. So once you lay the foundation, so the first 5 rows are your foundation. And then after that, you just keep repeating rows 6 and 7 until the shawl is as big as you want it, which made it very, very relaxing to do because it was so easy. It was so easy. You didn't have to look at anything. And so I could sit, because there are other things that I make that might have a 3 or 4 row repeat, and I kind of have to refer to the pattern, or there are color changes that I might need to refer to the pattern. With this, I changed color when I felt like it. I changed color when I ran out of yarn. So, this is what I ended up making. And I will put down in the description below the colors of Apricity that I ended up using. I believe this is Forest. I think this is Cactus Flower. I believe this is Sage. I think this is Stone. This Forest again. And I can't remember what the rest of these colors are called. I don't remember. But I will put them in the description down below. And I'll put a description to the yarn down below. And I'll put a description to the hook and the pattern. So I enjoyed this like I said, I enjoyed this so much that I really didn't want it to be over. And then at the end, it wasn't quite as big as I would have liked it to be. To kind of give you an idea here. So this is the tip of my arm, and then it kind of extends off of this tip a little bit. So I would have wanted this to be so much bigger. And one of my subscribers confirmed to me, because I got to the point where, if you notice this last row, this last color block is only 2 rows because I can only get 2 rows from a single skein of yarn. And as this gets bigger, that will be less and less possible. So even after doing those 2 rows, I didn't have very much of this yarn left. Let's see what I had left. So I got to keep it. So after doing 2 rows, this is all I had left. So probably with the next, if I did another color, I could still probably, I could still eke out 2 rows with one color, with one skein. But eventually I wouldn't be able to do that. And I would need more, I would need 2 skeins just to get, 2 rows. And maybe I could potentially get 3 rows. I don't know. But it looked to me like I would need at least as much yarn as I already had. So I would need at least 8 more skeins of yarn to get this to the size that I would have wanted it to be. And one of my subs, I think her name is Kathleen, she did confirm that for me. I hadn't mentioned that, but she confirmed it for me. She was like, you probably need the same amount of yarn you started with in order to get this to grow to the size that you would like it to be. And right now it's full price at $12 a skein, and that would be just a lot, right? That's 8 times 12. That's what, 60, 72, 84, $96. No, 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 that's too much. So if this yarn does go on sale at some point, I may purchase some more to make this bigger. I can always tie on and make it larger, but the yarn was just such a joy to work with. It's so soft, it's warm, but it's so lightweight. It's extremely lightweight. And a lot of times when I'm working a project, I actually get hot. That's why there were a couple of blankets that I was working on that I had to stop because it was just too warm in the summer to have a blanket on my lap. And I couldn't take the heat. But with this, I did not have that problem. I was able to work on this without getting overheated. It was just so nice. It was so nice and everything was so pretty. To see the hook and the beautiful yarn, it was just so pretty. And just to have that nice rhythmic, easy 2-row repeat. I was able to take this with me on a bus trip and not have to worry about bringing a pattern with me. I mean, of course, I can always pull it up on my phone and refer to it if I needed to, but I didn't have to. I didn't need to. It was so nice. It was so nice. It's the most enjoyment I've ever had crocheting anything in my life. And I think I would actually repeat this pattern. I've never repeated a crochet pattern before, ever. Once I make something once, I usually don't want to make it again. Same with quilting projects. Usually once I make it once, I don't want to make it again. But this, I enjoyed it so much that I would make this again. And I do have some yarn that is not this yarn. And I'm probably going to, I did have another shawl pattern that I was going to do, but I'm probably going to do this pattern just because of how easy it is, that I can just kind of pick it up and just go. It's more complex than, say, doing single crochet or double crochet straight across in rows, but not much more complex. Not at all. And it's completely constructed of double crochet and chain spaces. That's it. Double crochets and chain spaces. She does have a tutorial. I will leave a link to that. She has a tutorial on her YouTube channel that walks you through the foundation, so the first 5 rows, and then walks you through the 2 repeat rows for 6, 7, and 8. But I did purchase the pattern because I believe that even if a pattern is available for free, if I actually make the pattern, so if I just save the pattern, look at it, I won't purchase it. But if I actually make it, right? If I actually pick up that crochet hook and that yarn and I make the pattern, then I am going to purchase that pattern. And it was only $3, y'all. So I purchased her pattern. She has tons of patterns. She's quite prolific. She is so fast. I don't know how she puts out these lap-sized blankets using DK and worsted weight yarn, and it seems like every week she's putting out something. I don't know how these people crochet so fast, but I definitely have been looking at her page. She does have a website. She does sell yarn bundles and stuff like that, but all I wanted was this pattern, and I can't recommend this pattern enough. I can't recommend this yarn enough. It was a sensory experience for me, between the feel of the yarn and then the visual of the richness of the colors and the visual of this stunning crochet hook from Furls. It was just uplifting in a way that I cannot explain. I never gotten so much joy from crocheting something before. So if you can get this yarn, I highly recommend it. Apricity by Happy Place Apricity by Tony over at TL Yarn Crafts, and Agatha's Reading Shawl by Ophelia Talks. I'm going to put the links, like I said, in the description. But again, just a joy. Just a joy. So I'm going to be stalking the Hobie website. Looking for this yarn to go on sale, and hopefully it does, and I can get some more colors or some of the same colors and make this a little bit larger. I ideally would like for it to come down past my hands, which would be a lot of yarn. We're talking a lot of yarn. So I don't know if I'll do it or not, 'cause it would be expensive. This would be an absolute luxury. It would be an absolute luxury. And I don't know how, prices have been going up. Yarn has been going up. Fabric has been going up. And so I don't know if it'll go on sale or not, but I will be watching. I did get an 11% off coupon from Hobie, but that wasn't quite enough. That wasn't quite enough. I needed to be $9 or less. So, and then maybe, even then that's a maybe, right? Because realistically, I would probably get 9 skeins, 3 colors each, maybe something like that. Or the first color, 1 skein, I could get 2 rows. And then for the next colors, I would need 2 or 3. I don't know. I'd have to do the math. I've done the math, but I don't remember the math. But anywho, I just wanted to share this. This video is longer than I expected it to be. But if you are looking for a nice, relaxing shawl pattern that is a simple 2-row repeat where gauge is not important. She doesn't even give you gauge in the pattern, I don't believe. So even though she used a worsted weight yarn, I used this bulky, this 6-weight yarn, and it was fine. So as long as you use a hook size to where you like the drape, so as long as you like the drape of the fabric that you're using, or the drape of the fabric that you're creating, then you'll be fine. Gauge doesn't matter. The yarn size doesn't matter. Hook size doesn't matter. You can pick up any yarn, any hook, as long as you like the way it drapes, so you do those first couple rows, or do a gauge swatch, do a square or something to check the yarn and the hook size. And if you like the way the fabric drapes, you're going to be good to go. And like I said, it's so easy, just repeating the same 2 rows over and over and over and over and over again. So it does give your brain a break from just crocheting 1 stitch. But it's still, so it's challenging enough to where it's not just double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet. Well, it is kind of double crochet. That is kind of what it is, isn't it? But I don't know. It was a joy. It was an experience. So that's really all I came to say. I will put, like I said, all of the links down in the description, and like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.